Welcome. This is Reliving the American Revolution with Mark Bancroft. I'm your host, Mark. And today we're going to talk about two events. Both of them are somewhat significant. The setting is that Washington has just lost at the Battle of Brandywine. General Howe, the British general, is moving for Philadelphia. And so Washington has positioned himself and his army on the north side of the Schuylkill River, which is the only thing that's really separating Howe from Philadelphia. So Washington is over here, got his troops like all lined up here. And the Schuylkill River is very hard. It's a very fast moving river, and there's only a few places that you can cross. So Howe is on the south side, and he's like this. And so they're playing kind of a cat and mouse little game here. Howe moves to the west. Washington moves to the west. Howe goes to the west again. Washington goes to the west. But before we get to the battle, I want to tell you about the massacre of Paoli. Now, this is all taking place in September of 1777, and the massacre of Paoli is actually a massacre, unlike the Boston Massacre. That could be questionable if that was really a massacre or not, but this was absolutely a massacre. And so what had happened is George Washington was being followed by Howe, and so he gets Major General Mad Anthony to sneak in behind Howe's troops, and he wants him to get all his wagons and stuff, Howe's wagons. Howe gets wind of this action, and a loyalist tells him where Mad Anthony Wayne is camped, and it's only about a mile away. So Howe directs one of his generals, a guy by the name of Gray, to go and engage in a battle. Well, this Gray guy says, we're going to do this at night, and we're going to do it without firing anything. I don't want any shots. I don't want them to know that we're coming. And so he tells all of his troops, he's got about 1,200 troops, that they are to take the flints out of their rifles, that way they can't accidentally go off, and to fix their bayonets. And that's what they do. And on the night of September the 20th, they surround Anthony's men, and they charge. And they bayonet these guys. And the people are giving up. The Americans are saying, I give up. They lay down their arms, and the British still bayonet them. And on several occasions, firsthand accounts from both sides just say that the British went crazy and started bayoneting people 15, 16 times just to kill them. They'd bayonet them in the arm, they'd bayonet them in the leg, and then somebody would finally bayonet them in the heart. And it was just brutal, brutal battle. It was a massacre, a true massacre. Anyway, so Wayne gets away, and a lot of his troops. That was they lost over 300 men were either killed, injured, or captured. 8 British troops were either killed or wounded. So that's on September the 20th. So September the 26th is when we get this engagement going on here, where Howe's going west and Washington is just checking his move. It's like they're playing chess. So anyway, Howe gets smart and he swings around this way to Washington's left flank, and there's nobody there, and he crosses the river, and he has a clear shot at Philadelphia. Cornwallis takes up in Philadelphia. Howe goes on to, Washington continues this way. Howe goes up and camps out at Germantown. And he's got a couple generals below him and stuff that are engaged here. Washington wants to engage again. So Washington sends along Wayne and another general by the name of Sullivan, and they come, and the British troops are here. And at first Hal thinks it's just a scouting party, and then realizes that it's not, that it's the American army, is coming. So you got Wayne and Sullivan coming this way. And they go past this place called Cliveden, and it's a big stone house. And it's strange that I should mention just a singular house, but you'll see why. So they got the British going. The British they're surprised. They didn't realize that there was going to be this many Americans attacking them. They start retreating. Hal comes up, does his thing, and gets them to start coming back. These two guys, Sullivan and Wayne, get separated because of the cannon fire, all the smoke and the fog. They get separated, so the British get more of a chance to pick them off as two smaller armies. Washington, meanwhile, is coming this way with the main army, and he gets to here, and the British and Germans are held up in this stone house called Cliveden. It's a summer home of some lobbyist or some loyalist. Anyway, Washington cannot decide what to do. Another indecision on Washington's part. Knox says Washington initially wants to go and reinforce Wayne and Sullivan. General Knox says you can't leave this back here, and so Washington can't make his mind up. He finally decides to stay here and to do battle with about 100 guys in this thing. And we end up killing more of our own guys than the British do. So the whole army stops here. These guys are now retreating because they don't have reinforcements. They come back this way, and the battle ends. It's another defeat for the Americans in September of 1777. So this is like our third defeat, third major thing that has happened that has been negative. And so Washington pulls back. The British stay here. They take Philadelphia in September of 1777. They stay there only about 9 months. They leave in May and June of 1778, and we're going to cover that because it's really a significant thing. Washington eventually ends up at Valley Forge. We're going to talk about Valley Forge because it's just critical. It was brutal. But so for today, just remember the massacre of Paoli. You're going to hear it again. There you go. Have a good day.